my second year, I was in a directing class, and most student films are about death or breakups because that's the only conflict people know at that point in their lives, really. And except there was this one guy making shorts, sometimes with no dialogue, that you would just be, moved to tears at the end or change your perspective on life, and that is exactly what I wanted to do. And so, and I was the kid that sat in the back of the class and just took everything in and listened, like raised my hand, barely raised my hand, only answered when I was called on. But something in my gut said, you got to go talk to this guy. And that ended up being Ryan Coogler. And I said, look, I don't know how. I'd love to work with you a little, somehow. I know we're both in a directing class, but I can edit a little bit. And then so he's all right, cool. And then, we just obviously he's a great guy. And we stayed in touch and, throughout the semesters. And then he got selected for a short film, one of the bigger short films there. And he was in the process of choosing his editors. And right before he had to decide, he caught me. It was like 10:30 at night or something after class. And he's like, hey, you know how to production design, right? I had done a little bit for a couple classes, but I was like, yeah, totally. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. And he was like, okay, cool. So I need this and this and this and this. And I'm like, all right, yeah, that should be fine. When are you shooting? And he says, 6:30 tomorrow morning. And I'm like, what? So, I was like, yeah, I can do that. And then I go home and I panic, but I figured it out and I did it. And then I helped him on set and I did everything I could. I helped light it. I helped shoot it. I helped anything that he needed. And 2 days later, he chose me to be one of his editors. And, I think that really solidified my belief that, you work smart to get the best opportunities. And then once you get that opportunity, you work your ass off and you do anything it takes. And what I didn't realize at the time was I was showing him that I was willing to do anything and everything to help his vision and with a good attitude. You know what I mean? Like willing and like, let's go, let's do it. And so that, eventually translated into, that started our foundation of the relationship and that transferred into the editing work we did.